Hello everyone, this is Ikhlaq Khan. I hope you all are doing well. This video is actually just for the introduction purpose of subject social science in class 9th. As you all have cleared your class 8th, till class 8th you have discussed in social science three main subjects, that was history, geography and civics. In class 9, the portion of social science is divided in four major divisions. It is history, geography, economics and civics. So the subject economics is little new to you compared to the previous subjects. In this video, what we will be discussing is the basic introduction of your subject social science and the marks division. As you all know, the marks division is equal. Out of 100 marks, there will be 80 marks of written exam. Each paper will contain 20 marks and 20 marks will be of internal. In this video, what we will be discussing is about the economics. We will start with the economics first chapter. The first chapter of economics is all about the story of village Palampur. The chapter name is Story of Village Palampur. There are four chapters in economics. Starting two chapter, the story of village Palampur and the chapter pupil as resource, which is the second chapter, they both are interrelated. So we will try to cover these chapters, try to learn, try to memorize the chapters nicely. I will share with you all one of the PDF link for this chapter. Go through the PDF, it's NCERT PDF only. Go through it nicely so that you will connect with my videos. Once I will start my videos and all, you will be able to connect the videos. In this way, we will try to cover most of the economics portions. Hope you will enjoy these things and you will learn too much things from this video. Let's get started. So the chapter 1 of economics class 9th is the story of village Palampur. In this chapter, what we are going to learn is the basic story of village Palampur. Now, the basic concept in the story of village Palampur, they are related with the production concept. The Palampur, there is one village, and this Palampur, what we will be learning is about the production activities, and most of the activities related with the production in village Palampur. In the basic introductions, first and foremost, you are supposed to know the word economics, as this subject is new to you all. So you must be confused what is this all about. Economics is a subject which deals with the resources, the fulfillment of unlimited human want with the scarce resources. Economics is a subject which deals with the money and which deals with the satisfaction of unlimited human wanted in best possible way through the limited and scarce resources. The resources that are useful to satisfy our needs and requirements are limited, and we are supposed to use these resources in a nice way. If you are not using the resources in a nice way, it will be difficult to satisfy the unlimited wants. So economics is a subject which means to study the money, to study the resources to satisfy the unlimited human want. Now there is a difference between the word economics and the word economy. They both are different, they are not same. Economics is a subject, whereas economy is the country's. Economy is the country. When we talk about economy, it's a system. Economy is a system which provides the working opportunity. Economic is a system which provides the working environment so as to earn the livelihood. Like India is a economy, Indian economy, France economy. So in this way, economy is a system which provides the working through which we earn the livelihood. Then one more term is also there, economic activity. Activity means any kind of work. This kind of work can be broadly divided in two parts in sense of economics. One part is economic activity, one more part can be there which may be known as non-economic activity. So economic activity and non-economic activities are two parts. Economic activities are those activities which are done for the purpose of earning profit. And non-economic activities, these are activities which are done for the purpose of welfare. So I hope the concept of economics, economy and economic activity is clear to you. Economics is a subject deals with the satisfaction of unlimited human want with the limited and scarce resources, where we study the wealth, where we study the money. Economy is a system which provides opportunity to work. Economy is a broader concept. So in this way, I hope the concept of economics, economy and economic activity is clear to you. Now the concept of Palampur. Where is this Palampur? Actually, the word Palampur and the village Palampur is an imaginary village which is covered in your syllabus. This imaginary village is a hypothetical village. Hypothetical means imagery, which is not really existing. So this hypothetical image village have most of the equipments, have most of the facilities that a village should have. Like it's a kind of a ideal village, means the availability of transport, electricity, irrigation facilities, hospitals, schools and medical facilities and all. So in this way, it's a ideal hypothetical village through which other economic activities are defined to you. Then to learn the basic concept of production and related of this story we will be discussing. Palampur, a village connected, it's a well connected village with neighboring villages. There are two villages neighboring of Palampur, that is Raiganj and Shahpur. Raiganj and Shahpur, these are the two villages which are the neighbor villages of the Palampur. Like the Palampur was a small village compared to Palampur, the Raiganj and Shahpur were the bigger villages. They were little town in nature. Next, the geographical conditions of Palampur and the families members and all. It has, the whole village had 450 families. 450 families only, means it was not a big village, it was a small village. And even in this family, in this village, there was different kind of people, different caste of people. It was a combination of people. Out of 450 families, 80 families were of upper caste. 80 family upper caste. They were of majority of land. They own majority of the land. Now, as you all know, most of the situation happens then when there are some upper caste people, they are rich and they own most of the land. The same case was there, the case of Palampur, that 80 upper caste families were there and they own majority of the land. Then SCs and Dalits were of 1/3 of population. SC and Dalit constitute 1/3 of population, and they were living in a corner of village. They were not living in a main village, but they were there in a one side of a village. So this is the basic population and the demographic composition of the village. Now next is the availability of the electricity. Palampur has the good connectivity with the electricity, and electricity was available over there. It was a kind of developed village. Then apart from electricity, there were two primary schools and a high school also. Two primary school and a high school. Then private health clinic center and private clinic were also there in the Palampur. So this is the basic features of the village Palampur. I hope the introduction is clear to you, and I hope you are connecting with me. You are supposed to go through the notes that the link that I am providing to you. Once you will go through that, it will be much easier to connect with these things. Okay, next what we will be discussing is what we are going to study in this chapter. What we are going to study in this chapter is the factors of productions. The first thing that we will be discussing in this chapter is the factors of production. Second, we will be discussing is the farming in Palampur. Third, non-farming activity. These three things, the whole chapter of Story Village Palampur is divided in these three broad parts. What are these three broad parts? I have discussed with you. Factors of productions, farming of Palampur, then non-farming. As it's a rural village, so in a rural village, you all know that main activity in a rural village is the activity of the farming. Okay, let's move further. Then organization of production. We will discuss these topics clearly in the upcoming videos. The first topic that we are going to cover over here is the organization of production. What is production? Production is a process of conversion of raw material into finished goods. To make, suppose for example, to make wood into a fine furniture is the production. To make wood into a fine kind of furnitures, cloth, like weaving cloth, or making some kind of materials with the help of machines and with the help of factory, raw material is converted into goods. So that is known as the production. Now I hope production concept is clear to you. Production of both. Production does not only means the goods. Goods means any kind of commodity. Don't get confused with the word goods. Goods means any kind of commodities. Then production of goods, at the same time production of services also. And what is services? The facilities that they provide. Bank provide facilities. Bank is a service providing facilities. transport. So they all are producing services. They are not producing goods, they are producing services. Okay, then requirement for this production. The production will not happen automatically. It is not an easy part that to convert the raw material easily into goods and commodity. There are certain major requirement of production. So the requirement for production is divided in 4 parts. Requirement of production divided in 4 parts. What are these 4 parts? The first is the land, second is labor, third is physical capital, and fourth is human capital. I hope you are getting me. So factors of productions, they are also known, requirement of production are also known as factors of production. The factor of production is land. Along with land, you also require other natural resources. What are other natural resources? It is forest, water, minerals. So land is the basic things for the production, for any production activity, any cultivation and all. What you require? You require land. So along with land, you also require forest, you require water, and you require minerals also. Okay, the next is the labor. Next factor of production is labor, because it is the labor, the men who are converting raw material into finished goods. So labor include people who do work. Now these labors can be of different category. There can be labor who are skilled, there can be laborers who are unskilled, there can be labor educated, there can be uneducated labor also. It depends on the nature of work. It depends on the nature of work, the kind of labor is required. There are some jobs where skilled labor are necessary, a kind of plumbers, electricians. So these all are skilled labor, because the work of plumbing or the work of electricity cannot be done by a layman. A layman cannot do so. It requires a particular kind of skills. There at the same time, there are unskilled labor also, who are not required too much skills and all, but the physical activity. Same as educated and uneducated. Educated are there when we talk about software companies, when we talk about something good and advanced. We need a kind of persons who are educated. Until unless they are educated, it is difficult to work in the companies. So educated and uneducated, it depends on the nature of work. I hope the concept of labor is clear to you. Next, the forward we will move is the physical capital and human capital. Now you must have a confusion in your mind. And what's the confusion? The confusion is, what is the capital all about? When we talk about capital, it is the contribution made by the owner in the business. Capital is the contribution made by owner in the business. Suppose if I am starting my own business, if I am starting my own printing press, let us take the example of printing press. Now I wish to publish the all-in-one books for class 9 social science. Then in order to print the books, there are certain requirements. I need some money, I need a kind of capital. So this money, I need machine, I need paper, labor. So these all are capital. They all are capital. I hope the concept of capital is clear to you. Capital is the contribution made by owner in the business for the purpose of production. Capital is divided in 2 parts, physical capital and human capital. Now physical capital, what is physical capital? Physical capital means this money, machine, tools, equipment, they are physical capital. There are variety of inputs required in production, and this physical capital are the 2 parts. They are fixed capital and working capital. Now again you must have confusion. What is this fixed capital and working capital? Fixed capital means the capital which is fixed in nature, which will not change easily. In order to start a printing press company, I am purchasing some machine. So this machine is fixed. It will be useful with me for a long period of time. So tools, machine and building, they are fixed. That's why word fixed is there. They are fixed capital. But to start my printing press company, I also need some paper, I also need money, I need fuel, I need electricity. So these are working capital which are required for day-to-day working of the business. So working capital means raw material, money, then paper, electricity, they all are working capital. I hope the difference between fixed capital and working capital is clear to you. The next is the Human capital. Now what is this human capital? The knowledge and enterprise required by human beings is a human capital. Don't get confused between human capital and labor. There are chances students get confused between human capital and labor, but don't get confused in this. When we talk about human capital, so it's the knowledge of human, it's the knowledge of human, because this whole concept of human capital, you have to be very careful in this, because the next chapter of class 9th economics is fully based on human capital, is the extension of human capital only. So what is human capital? The knowledge and the enterprise skill. Knowledge and skills can be there. Enterprise required by human beings. One enterprise, my company is there, my printing press company is there. In this printing press company, I need some managers, I need certain persons and all. Even if I am working and I don't have proper knowledge and skill with me, so it will be difficult to run out my printing press company. So the knowledge and skill one enterprise require, a company require, is known as human capital. I hope the concept of requirement of factors of production is clear to you all. Then at last what we can say, together all these makes up the factors of production. Together all these makes factors of production. Clear? I think now the concept of factors of production is clear to you all. So this all things are for today's video. We will continue with the next topic in the coming videos. For that time, please go through the NCERTs, that the link I am sharing with you all, and after once you will be going through these books and all, you will find it easy to go through the videos, and it will be easy and helpful to you. Till that time, stay healthy and be fit. I hope and I wish all the best to you all. Thank you very much.